Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Julie Chrisley donned new physical appearance in court. Julie Chrisley appeared in court on Wednesday, September 25, for her resentencing hearing. The Chrisley Knows Best star was resentenced to the same 84 months she initially received. However, fans were interested to hear reports of how Julie looked when she walked into the courtroom. Keep reading to see what they're saying about Julie's unrecognizable look. Julie Chrisley sported brown hair in court. The Chrisley Knows Best star appeared before a judge at the United States District Court for the Northern District of Georgia in downtown Atlanta. In the end, the judge ruled that her original punishment was sufficient. Savannah Chrisley and Chase Chrisley were both in the courtroom for the hearing, but Julie didn't look like her normal self. Julie Chrisley is known for her Southern charm and big blonde hair. In court on Wednesday, she sported brown hair and looked nothing like she did on television. During her appearance, she took a moment to address the court. In tears, she apologized for what she did to land herself in prison. Julie also addressed her children, apologizing to them for what they've had to go through as a result of her actions. I would like to say I've had years to think about what I've wanted to say, and I'm sorry for my actions and situations that led us to where we are today, the reality TV icon said. I had 20 months in prison, but it has been much more leading up to the trial, and I apologize for my actions that led to where we are today. I have done everything I can do to get closer to my family. I've taken tests for new skills, such as driving a forklift and serving food in proper ways. This has been the most difficult part of my life. I can't ever repay my children for what they've had to go through, and for that, I am so sorry, she concluded. No photos of Julie from court on Wednesday. Chrisley fans took to Reddit to discuss the outcome of Julie's court appearance, as well as her new look. It's easier for her to color her hair than highlights, one Reddit user pointed out, referring to resources available in prison. Well, PV Pill needs to publish an image. Lol, another person wrote, hoping to see a photo of Julie in court. A third person chimed in, I'm hoping TMZ will drop one. Lol. Brown hair, huh? Guess she wasn't a true blonde like they all want to portray, a fourth laughed. Unfortunately for people who are curious, there won't be any photos of Julie in the courtroom. Federal court does not permit photos or videos of the inmates in court. There could potentially be a drawing released, but that is the most people will see. As fans know, Julie Chrisley initially received a 7-year sentence in November 2022 for fraud and tax evasion. Her husband, Todd Chrisley, was hit with a 12-year sentence. When Julie Chrisley stepped into the Lexington federal courtroom this week, all eyes turned. Whispers bounced between the benches, reporters leaned forward in unison, and even the presiding judge raised an eyebrow ever so slightly. This wasn't the Julie the world remembered from Chrisley Knows Best. Gone was the soft-spoken, Southern glam mom of reality TV fame. In her place stood a woman whose transformation sent a ripple of shock through the courthouse. Julie, 52, emerged with a striking new physical appearance, so starkly different, it was almost cinematic. Her once shoulder-length honey blonde locks had been replaced with a sleek, snow-white bob, impeccably styled, framing a face that looked sharper or determined. She had lost considerable weight, her frame now leaner, giving her an almost ethereal quality. But it wasn't just the weight or hair. It was the energy, the presence, the way she walked in like a woman who had faced the fire and emerged, not unscathed, but undeniably changed. She wore a tailored navy pantsuit that spoke volumes. Gone were the floral dresses and pearls that once screamed Southern housewife chic. This Julie wore sharp lines, minimalist gold jewelry, and courtroom confidence. Her makeup was understated but flawless, high cheekbones subtly contoured, eyes piercing beneath neatly groomed brows. It wasn't vanity, it was strategy. This appearance wasn't just about aesthetics, it was a message. She looked like someone who had let go of the past and was fully stepping into whatever future awaited her, one courtroom observer noted. Some speculated that the transformation had been months in the making. Insiders revealed that since being incarcerated, Julie had taken a deep interest in health and wellness. She had immersed herself in meditation, prison fitness routines, and most notably, a new sense of internal discipline. While the world focused on legal appeals and family drama, Julie had apparently embarked on an inner evolution that was now manifesting. Her ever-loyal daughter sat quietly in the gallery, clutching a notepad. Her face bore a mix of pride and pain. "That's my mama," she whispered when asked about the change. You don't survive what she's survived without changing on every level. Indeed, the journey had not been easy. Julie and her husband Todd were convicted on federal charges of bank fraud and tax evasion. The glossy facade of their lavish lifestyle cracked under the pressure of mounting legal troubles. And in 2023, Julie reported to prison to begin serving a reduced sentence following several appeals. The world watched her transition from TV star to inmate, and now, seemingly, to something entirely new. Court proceedings that day were largely procedural, oral arguments over ongoing claims of government misconduct and mishandled evidence. But Julie's appearance stole the narrative. She didn't speak much, her attorneys did most of the talking, but when she did rise to address the judge briefly, her voice was calm, sure, almost haunting in its clarity. "Your Honor," she said, "I've had a long time to reflect. I stand here not just as a woman who made mistakes, but as one who refuses to be defined by them." There were audible gasps. Not because of what she said, but how she said it. The southern lilt was still there, but there was steel beneath it, an edge that hadn't been present before. Legal analysts were quick to interpret her physical transformation as a form of visual testimony. "The courts aren't immune to the power of perception," said legal commentator Jenna Wilcox. Julie Chrisley showed up today not begging for mercy, but demanding to be seen in a new light. This wasn't just a new look, it was a reclamation of agency. But public opinion was divided. Online forums lit up with debate. Some accused Julie of using appearance as manipulation, an attempt to soften her image or curry favor with the court. Others applauded her, calling it a bold, empowering reinvention. Hashtags like #NewJulie and #ChryslyComeback trended within hours. Still, there was a palpable sadness that hung around her. While she looked stronger, the sparkle that once defined her public persona had dimmed. "She's beautiful, no doubt," one fan tweeted. "But it's like she's haunted by something the rest of us can't see." Perhaps it was the toll of separation from her children. Perhaps the shame of once having it all and watching it crumble. Or maybe it was simply the weight of change, necessary, painful, unrelenting change. Even Todd Chrisley, who appeared via video from his separate facility, was momentarily stunned when he caught sight of her on the monitor. "Julie," he mouthed. His face flickered with emotion, pride, confusion, maybe even guilt. He reached toward the screen instinctively, and for a brief moment, the courtroom witnessed something rare. Raw vulnerability from the usually composed patriarch. After court adjourned, Julie exited swiftly, flanked by her legal team. Reporters called her name, asking about her new look, her marriage, her faith. She paused only once, turning to offer a small smile. "I'm just trying to be the best version of myself," she said, "even if I had to find her in the hardest of places." And with that, she was gone, leaving behind a room full of stunned silence and a narrative that had clearly shifted. In that single courtroom appearance, Julie Chrisley didn't just plead her case, she reintroduced herself to the world. not as a reality TV matriarch or a convicted felon, but as a woman who had walked through fire, shed old skin, and emerged with a strength that couldn't be faked. The next steps in her legal journey remain uncertain. Appeals are ongoing, the future still tangled in legal red tape. But one thing is now clear: Julie Chrisley will not fade quietly into obscurity. Not when she's only just begun to show the world who she really is.